Okay, update on the swarm trap box that I pulled out of the suspension bridge downtown. I've got it sitting back here. I've had it sitting back here for a couple of days. We're ready to open this thing up and see what kind of nightmare I've got in there. If you remember, this thing is just packed absolutely full, and I don't know what I'm going to find when I open this up. I had frames in there. I don't remember how many. Some of them had comb, but it was a lot of just empty frames, so this is probably going to be creatively designed by the bees. So we're going to find out what we've got. Let's see what it'll take to even get this lid off of here. Oh, right. It's actually loose already. Very nice. Far better than I hoped for. I actually had 10 frames in this swarm trap box. Yay me! Never in my wildest dreams could I have hoped. They've got this. Perfect. I mean, that's just as good as any of my managed hives. I don't see any cross comb in there. And like I said, I had a couple of these frames, probably these two had old brood comb on them, and the rest had starter strips. Some of them, probably on the edge, were empty. But they built almost perfectly. Fantastic. Let's pull some frames. Nothing but honey in that one. It is a very full frame. Got eggs on this side. You're looking for that queen. Man, they don't have a whole lot of room though. They're even backfilling what they do have. This whole open area here is all eggs. There's a little bit of cap brood that's probably just recently emerged, and then there's some actual hatched eggs and larvae over here. So I know there's a good queen in here. I'm going to go through and find her. As soon as I do, I'll show her to you. I'll spare you the pain of watching me go through frame by frame and searching. But yeah, this looks like a really good hive. I'm very happy with this one. Yeah, we got one funky comb that they built here. You can see there's this extra lobe right there. They've got it coming around. And there's a gap here. They've actually got kind of 2 layers of comb in one frame. That's going to be a little bit tough to mess with, but honestly, I'm just going to leave it. It's full of brood right now. I don't really have any reason to disturb that. The next comb over's got kind of an indent to allow for the way that bumps out. I'm just going to let it go. If that's the worst that happens in all of this, I'm happy. I can work with that. I already found the queen. She's already in our new box. She's big, she's healthy. She was unmarked. Sometimes I do find marked queens in my swarm traps. I went ahead and put a mark on her so I can find her. Still a real good frame. You could see how this one's kind of indented a little bit. That matched where the other one kind of stuck out. And that's going to continue on through the box. It's going to be off by just a little bit. I'm really not too worried about it. This hive is so full, I am checking for swarm cells. It is July 28th. Not unheard of for swarms this time of year. If they're crowded and they're healthy, they'll swarm. And these are crowded. They're going to get an extra box here as soon as I'm done. They need some room. And I don't need to worry about feeding them at all. This thing is chock full of honey. That's just gorgeous. It doesn't get much better than that. Alright, this is the trap box taken out now. That hive looks fantastic. They're in perfect health. I saw no sign of any disease. The worst thing that I'm seeing is there were some small hive beetles hiding in the corner. So I'm probably going to put some Swiffer sheets in there or a beetle trap or something just to make sure it gets cleaned up. This being a plywood box, I don't have my bee space absolutely perfect. I mean, you can see they purplized the frames to the side a little bit, but I mean, it's a swarm trap box. I'm not working out of this all the time. Now that this has had a hive in it, and it's got the purplish soaked into the wood and everything, this is going to make a fantastic swarm trap going forward in the future. Here I got them set up in a new standard equipment box. Their frames are put in, oriented, and numbered exactly as they were coming out of the trap box. They're already oriented to this spot, so they're going right back to it. I mean, this thing's just chock full of bees. I'm going to put another box of drone comb right on top of this, because they need space like right now. And I think this is going to be a darn good hive. I'll check my other two here if they're good to go. These are just going out to my main production yard. Awesome. That's one of the best swarm traps I've had.